Good evening, student. Welcome to today class. Today we will discuss workshop technique. In this lecture, we will cover all this topic: introduction of workshop, definition of workshop, essential features of workshop, principle of workshop, objective of workshop, purpose of workshop, and procedure of workshop. Follow-up of an workshop technique, advantage of workshop technique, disadvantage of workshop technique. In the last of our lecture, we will discuss some MCQs related to our today topic, workshop. Learning objective of our this lecture, the student will be able to comprehend the concept and define the meaning of workshop. The student will be able to analyze and understand the workshop. Student will be able to know the importance of workshop. Student will be able to acknowledge the objective of workshop. Student will be able to know the demerit and importance of workshop. Student will be able to use workshop technique for their learning skills. First, we will discuss introduction of workshop. The workshop are organized to develop the psychomotor aspect, skill development of the learner regarding practice of new innovation in area of education. Under this technique, participation have do some practical work to produce instructional, teaching, and testing material. Workshops bring together the key people in the project in a facilitated group session to accomplish certain objectives. Workshop attendees may be from the business community as well as from the technical community, or they may be from the outside of the enterprises, or they may be from education. The point is to bring together all of the people who have the requested knowledge to address an additional issue. Serial interviewing and the potential of misinterpretation of important information is avoided. The workshop technique can be used for any situation which require something more than a simple meeting or round table discussion, such as a quick turnaround of information, multiple sources of information, and overcoming political or personal roadblocks to project success. Workshop facilitation, facilitation uh, is the act of facilitating or guiding participations through a process of co uh, creation and active dialogues to help them reach a particular goal together. It required that workshop facilitators use the right skills and method for different situations to ensure individuals are guided rather than managed or controlled throughout throughout a workshop. While facilitating a workshop is by no means an easy feat, even an inexperienced workshop facilitator can get great result by following them 18 simple steps. Definition of workshop. Workshop is defined as assembled group of 10 to 15% who share a common interest or problem. They meet together to improve their individual and scale of subject through intensive study, research, practice, and discussion. Workshop is a meeting during which experienced pupil and responsible position come together with expert and consultants to find solution for the problem that cropped up in the course of their work, and they have had uh, difficulty in dealing with on their own. It is a large group discussion method. According to Basan Tapa, workshop is defined as assembled group of 10 to 25% who share a common interest or problem. They meet together to improve their individual skills of a subject through intensive study, research, and discussion. According to low rate workshop refers to a group of individuals who work together towards the solution of problem in a given subject matter field during a specific period of time. Essential features of workshop: complete active involvement by participations. The whole point of attention is to work and learn from practical experiences. Participations may have to work as reporters or leaders. Principle of workshop: allowing the participants to prepare and select objectives to be reached will increase the participation's motivation. Giving the participants an active role will make teaching more effective. Improve a person's attitude towards other pupil. Learn better human relation. Give the participants uh, an active role will take teaching more effective. Every individual have worth and contribute to the common goals. Corporation is a technique and a way of life that is superior to competition and is a primary factor to be allowed. Workshop should focus on the current issue uh, in the profession to be discussed. Workshop should be conducted with full cooperation within organizer. So these are the principles of workshop. Objective of workshop. There are two objectives of workshop: cognitive objective and psychomotor objective. First, we will discuss cognitive objective of workshop. To solve the problem of the teaching profession. To provide the philosophical and sociological background for instructional and teaching situation. To identify the educational objectives in the present context. To develop an understanding regarding the use of theme and problem. These are the cognitive objective of workshop. Now we will discuss psychomotor objective of workshop. To develop the skills to perform tasks independently, to determine and use of teaching strategies effectively. Uh, uh, to train the person for using different approaches of teaching. Workshop technique is used to see, explore, and identify the solution of a problem. It is used for in-service teacher for giving awareness and training of new practice education. It provides an opportunity to prepare specific professional, vocational, and community service function. Now we will discuss purpose of workshop. To put teacher in situation that will break down their barrier between theme to facilitate communication. To give opportunity for personal growth through accepting and working towards a goal held in common with others. To give teachers an opportunity to work on the problem. Those are direct, current, and concern to theme. Teacher will learn new method and technique which they can use in their own classroom. To place teacher in a position of responsibility for their own learning. To put the teacher in a situation where they will evaluate their own efforts. To give the teachers an opportunity to improve their own moral. These are the purpose of workshop. Now we will discuss the procedure of workshop. The organization of workshop can be divided into two phases: pre-active phase or active phase. First, we will discuss pre-active phase. The pre-active phase steps are: define the goal. Every workshop must have a goal. Clear goal should be keep at the center of the discussion. Step second, decide the target groups. Knowing who will participate directly refers to the objective. Make a list of people who need to be there. Try to be as specific as possible, but leave a few opinion for last minute addition. Step 3, select a right location. Think about the logistic and practical details of the workshop for the selection of the location. Make sure that everyone be able to see the visual aids. If you are using visual aids in your workshop, then you should take care of. Also, make sure that the appropriate facilities to breakout sessions. Will everyone will be able to reach venue or need to organize? Accommodations for people who are coming from long way. Step 4, prepare an agenda. Main point, create a list of main point to discuss and break down each large point into details. Visuals aids, list the visual aids, if any, to be used for each point. If need technical support, provide expert help. This helps the pupil to determine where they need to focus their efforts. Discussion and activities. Take a time to list exactly which group discussion and activities will be used at which point in the workshop. How much time will be allowed for each exercise? Make sure that activities are appropriate for the size of the uh, group, and ensure that the venue has the resources. Step 5th, develop a follow-up plan. The only way to find out if the workshop was a success is to have an effective follow-up plan. Create a questionnaire to give all participation at the end of the event, and give them plenty uh, of opportunity to share their opinion on how well it went. It is the only way to learn and improve for the next time. The activity phase, uh, first stage, presentation of the theme for providing awareness. Resources person or expert are invited to provide the awareness and understanding uh, uh, of the topic. Paper reading is done to discuss the different aspect of the theme. In the first stage, theoretical background is provided to the participations. Second stage of active phase, uh, practice the method for its application applicability. The second stage, the group is divided into small group on the basis of the language, uh, subject study, and every participate has to work individual and independently. Uh, a resource person or expert is assigned to provide the guidance for the work to be performed. Every trainee has to complete the task within the given period. At the end, they meet in their group and discuss and present their task to be completed. Third stage, at the end of the workshop, a representative of each group will uh, will then to be asked the present the findings. In second stage, the participation are required to elaborate a meaningful uh, uh, ordering scheme for thus for collected context elements. The round up will be a reflective discussion with all workshop participation where the experience of teaching method is put into personal uh, follow-up procedure. It is important part of workshop. Uh, Effectiveness is necessary by the objective follow-up. The trainees are asked to continue their task and examine its work, uh, ability and inability in their working setup. The participations are invited to meet again and present their uh, institution feedback regarding applicability of the topic or new practice. They may give some practical suggestion in this context. And last, report of the workshop is prepared. Uh, Procedure can be divided in 18 points. We discuss all this procedure for successfully conduction of the workshop. Get the uh, get to the know the participation, define the purpose of workshop, set a clear goal, plan for more than just a day, prepare for unexpected, set the sense, complete a check-in, go over the ground rules, share the agenda and set expertise, Yeah, expectations. Build up trust with an icebreaker. Facilitate but don't control. Encourage multimedia. Assess goal completion. Complete checkout. Communicate the next step. Paint the big picture and communicate progress. Activate and engage. Ask for feedback. These are the 18 procedure for successful conduction of the workshop. The steps are also grouped into the three essential stage of the workshop: before, during, and after. So these are the steps you should take care whenever you organize a workshop. Role in workshop, role of organizer of the workshop technique, role of the convener and first stage, role of the expert or resource person, role of the participations or trainees. Role of an organizer, the program and schedule is prepared by organizer. He has to arrange for boarding and loading facility for participations as well as for expert. Role of convener, at the first stage of workshop, the theoretical aspects are discussed by the expert on the theme of the workshop. Therefore, a convener is nominated or invited who is well acquainted with the theme or the workshop. He has to conduct a workshop at this stage, and he has to observe the uh, formalities and keynote of the workshop. Role of the expert in organizing a workshop: resource person play an important role in the providing theoretical and practical aspect of the theme. To provide guideline to participation at the every stage and train them to perform the task effectively. Role of trainees: the participations should be keen or interested in the theme of the workshop. At the first stage, they have to acquire understand of the theme. At the second stage, they have to practice and perform the task with great interest and seek proper guidance from the expert. Outcomes of the workshop. Workshop winds specified uh, knowledge. Workshop brings the specified knowledge of the theme. Mm, Result in personal and professional growth. As we know, UGC mm, mm, uh, provide the guideline for workshop, conference, and other professional development. So time to time UGC provide the guideline. Result in friendship, team spirit, and human relationship. These are the outcomes of workshop. Advantage of workshop: used to realize the higher cognitive and psychomotor objectives, used for developing understanding and proficiency for the approaches and practice in education, provide opportunity and situation to develop individual capacity of the teacher, develop the feeling, cooperation, and work or team work, provide the situation to study vocational problem. It introduced new practice and innovation in education. It used for developing and improving professional efficiency in nursing, medical, dental, etc. Or in education also, the teacher proficiency can be developed by using the workshop technique for in service teaching. Disadvantage of workshop: the workshop in education are seminar come workshop on any theme or problem. The in-service teacher do not take interest to understand and use the new practice in their classroom. The workshop cannot be organized for large group so that the large group member of a person are trained. The teacher do not take interest in practical work or to do something in productive form. So these are the disadvantage of workshop. Or one more disadvantage of workshop: it is a time consuming process. Conclusion of workshop: workshop may be a room or building which provide both the area and tools that may be required for manufacturers to prepare factories good. Workshop were the only place of production until the evidence of industrialization and the factory. These are the references you should go through for further more detail of workshop. Now time of MCQs. Activity involves physical action, option A. Option B, mental action, option mm, C, mental and physical action, option D, only physical action. So choose the appropriate answer. We move from specific to journal in inductive method, option B, deductive method, option C, drill method, option D, discussion method. Choose appropriate option. Practice is made in option A, inductive method, option B, deductive method, option C, drill method, option D, discussion method. Next MCQs. Example of psychomotor domain is the student. Option A, demonstrate awareness to environment pollution, perform an experiment, option B. Option C, can computer result of two experiment, option D, can narrate a story. Choose appropriate answer and send your answer in my comment box. Which domain is concerned with physical and motor skill? Option A, cognitive domain, option B, affective domain, option C, psychomotor domain, and D, none of the above. Next MCQs. Objective of workshop are cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, option C, both A and B, cognitive and psychomotor domain, none of the above. Next MCQs, a workshop is very useful for developing option A, psychomotor, option B, cognitive, option C, interest, option D, emotion. So choose your appropriate answer and send me in my comment box. 3 stages of workshop are presentation and clarification of the topic, topic practice of its application, and follow-up in which evaluation is done of the prepared material. Option B, practice of its application, presentation and clarification of the topic, and follow-up which evaluation is done of the prepared material. Option C, follow-up in which evaluation is done of the prepared material, presentation, clarification of the topic, and practice of its application. Option D, follow-up in which evaluation is done of the prepared material, clarification of the topic, and practice of its application. Choose appropriate answer and send your answer in my comment box. Thank you, student. Have a good day.